What's up, y'all? It's Tony. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking to y'all about why rejection is important and why you need to put yourself out there more. So to get started, I want to tell y'all about a quick story about my job this past week. So as y'all know, I work in sales. I actually work in tech sales, which is, for my company, is business to business sales. So I'm calling on business leaders, seeing if I can provide IT services. And so this week I called on, I won't say the name of the company, but it's a big retailer, luxury retailer here in Dallas. And so I called one of these IT leaders essentially, and had a meeting set up with him, got him on the phone. He said, yes, that's perfect, I'll join. So the day of the meeting comes, he accepts, he joins, and you can tell from the beginning he was a little sketched out. I think part of it, we had this little note taker that records our conversations and transcribes it in notes, and normally it announces itself at the beginning, but on this one it didn't for some reason. So we forgot to mention it. But just to give you all a little background on like sales itself, you do a lot of research and you show up to these meetings so that you can present a value-driven conversation. So I think probably about 4 or 5 hours of research had gone into this meeting ahead of time. I had my senior seller on the call. So getting this meeting, getting it all set up, we want to do good. So we really work hard ahead of time. There's a lot of pre-work. So we get on this call. The leader joins, and so I start introducing. I'm like, hey, my name is Tony. This is my business partner, Dave. It's not his real name. Wanted to get introduced with you, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm in the middle of that. First you start with small talk, of course. You try to connect with them. He was from my small town. I tried to connect with him on that, but he wasn't that interested. Didn't really care. So start introductions, and my partner introduces himself, and then I start to introduce myself, and immediately in the middle of me introducing myself, he just drops out the call, and it was bizarre. And so I give him a call on my phone because had his number, and I was like, hello. He answered it too, and I was like, hey, we'll say Bob. Hey Bob, did you having technical difficulties? Blah blah blah. And he starts pretending like he can't hear me on my cell phone, whatever. I'm like, what do you? So then I'm sitting there looking like a head ass, Hey, it's Tony. It's Tony. Yeah, can you hear me? He could 100% hear me. He was just being whatever. Anyways, he was doing something there. And I tell you all this, this was something that was pretty frustrating for me. The amount of work that I put into it, just to have somebody, be a not good human, I guess, or a not nice person. Just I don't know. It was just a weird situation. I've never seen that happen before, where somebody just drops in the middle of somebody talking, and especially in like the first 2 minutes. Why even accept the call and make me do all this? Not make me, but of course I'm doing all this pre-work. So it was weird. But I tell you all that to just give y'all an example of rejection, how it shows up, and how it can even potentially be a benefit to you sometimes. So that was clearly very frustrating for me, but I did learn a lot from it. Not necessarily about how I run things or anything like that. It's just I learned how to overcome the rejection, how to keep moving forward. Now, obviously, it's still fresh. It was this past week, so I'm speaking with it with a bit of frustration. But I was able to the next day just be like, all right, on to the next. So started cold calling again, and got a meeting set for next week. So that ability to take the rejection, take the hit, and keep moving forward. That's what is so important in today's society, because we got these dating apps, we got all these easy ways to avoid rejection, because none of us want to get rejected. But It's such an important skill if you want to be successful in life, because you're going to get rejected constantly. Dating, business, anything, whatever you want to do, you're going to get rejected occasionally. Job search, you get rejected all the time. But it's through those rejections, those hard times, the improvements, the subtle resilience that you learn from it, that makes you successful eventually. It makes it so sweet when you actually accomplish these goals, or get that job, get that girl. It makes it so much sweeter. So if you can embrace that rejection and actually seek it out in some ways, you're going to be so much more successful, happy, because it's that resilience, that grit that you develop through rejection, through constantly getting people saying no, constantly. And then when they say yes, you're just like, yes. And usually it's something great. I'm not, trying to think, it's great when you can actually learn how to be rejected and keep moving forward. So my kind of note for y'all is keep putting yourself out there. I know it might not seem like you're making progress, but you're developing that muscle of resilience and grit. And I suggest that y'all put yourself out there more and get those jobs that you might get rejected more often. Maybe sales, maybe in entrepreneurship, where you're gonna fail, you're gonna get rejected, but you're just developing this muscle, this resilience muscle. You might not be able to see it, but it's there, and it's so important in today's society. So that's today's video. Like, comment, subscribe, basic YouTuber stuff, and I'll see y'all next week.